Hello everybody, welcome back. I've got another Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions job breakdown for you here. This time we're going to take a look at Mystic. Just see here in a second. Alright, down, here we are. Okay, so yeah, let's talk skills first, as usual here. As with, I think like most of the magic or the casters in this game, you want to have a higher faith, and obviously having your target have a higher faith as well is going to help you land, some of these status effects. Unfortunately, though, oops, and I backed out of there, and I didn't mean to do that. Unfortunately, there isn't a whole lot, though, also, because, sorry, the third factor is the target's, zodiac symbol, which you can't do anything about. So, really, the things that you can control is going to be your faith, as well as the target's faith, which you can, I guess, manipulate to some extent, though I question if that's truly really worth doing. But anyways, all right. So Umbra adds blind. I don't know. I'll be honest. This is okay, but I think honestly, Mystic would be just a lot better if some of these status effects were just easier to land. Like, blind is nice and everything, especially towards the beginning of the game, but later on it becomes, I don't know, nigh pointless. So let's just take a look here. So okay, we got a 50% chance on this chocobo, a 42. Now also here's a 59. My faith, if you notice there, actually is pretty low. So I'll be honest, these rates are a lot better than I kind of expected. So it would really help to boost up this character's faith. So, alright, so the next skill here is Absorb MP. I mean, decent ability, right? I don't know, though. Let me just see here. Yeah, I mean, these enemies are like, high 70s, and they don't have much for MP. So you're not going to be, you're not going to be pulling much from the monsters. If you're going up against the humanoids, that's going to be a bit better, right? You'll be able to steal more, though. I don't know how much you're really gonna need, but and then this is also pretty cheap to cast. Obviously, it's it's basically meant to kind of recharge you off of your enemies. One cheesy thing here, you can actually use this on your own characters as well. So like in a battle like this, right, we're going up against a bunch of monsters that don't have a whole lot of MP. So like if this character was really low, you could grab some from from your allies too. Invigoration, absorb HP from the target. This is basically just drain. Drains 25% of the target's maximum HP. Honestly, that's pretty good. I like the percentage-based drain. I mean the land rate here is really poor though. Yeah, at best here, this guy's got not even quite a 50% chance. So, but it is what it is, and again, if I had a better faith stat, these would be a lot more accurate. All right, so what was this one? Belief. Fill the target's soul with a zealous fervor. So, adding faith will really increase the chances that you will actually land magic on these enemies, and will also increase the damage of like black magic spells and that sort of thing. So whether or not it's really worth doing, it's questionable here, but that's a thing. Whereas adding the atheist effect is going to basically make them immune to damage as well. So I don't know. This is, I guess, this is better for casting on an enemy caster, right? Because then you're really going to be nerfing down their damage, and it'll just make them a lot weaker, I suppose. Corruption. Transform the target into one of the Walking Dead. Now, this can be... I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't really use this a whole lot, but Undead would be kind of one of those kind of fun things to do if you've got... or if you're walking around with a White Mage, because then your Cure spells will actually deal damage to them. So, I suppose this is probably good against really anybody that you're worried about if the enemy is going to heal, right? So, like... You know, if you've got enemy white mages on the field and, you know, you're concerned about the white mages healing, you know, whatever, a target of yours, you could just make that target undead. So that's one way to take care of those. Here is silence. Another great. I mean, this is just obviously it will stop casters in their tracks, right? Just not able to be casting spells at all. Fervor here makes the target berserk. Again, Berserk is kind of one of those abilities that I don't really use that much. It will, I think it just will literally just make your targets use melee attacks, and they won't use. I don't think they'll use any skills. So interesting, I guess, but not usually something that I bother with. Trepidation here reduces the target's bravery. This can be an interesting ability for treasure hunting. I mean, I guess not just that though, right? But like if you want to treasure hunt, this is a good way to reduce your character's bravery down so that you can be more successful with it. Otherwise, you know, I don't know. I guess you can use this on enemies as well. But let me see here. Trepidation reduces bravery by 30. Okay, that actually is significant. That's a lot better than I thought, honestly. Oh yeah, 30. So that's pretty good too for if something is already kind of low on bravery and you want to turn it into a chicken. Let me just see this one more time here. My ratios here. 40%, 30, 36. Again, I wish I wish I would have made my Mystic here with a lot more faith, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Cause the target become delirious and act irrationally. So this is to add confusion. I'm not that big of a fan of confusion, only because I like there's other status effects that I like more, like stop. Stop is way better. Confusion can be useful, right? If you are up against a ton of different monsters like this, where we're completely outnumbered, confusion sometimes will have the monsters attack, you know, themselves. There's I would say charm is similar to this, although I would say charm is better, because when a monster is charmed, they will assist you. Damage, like from a melee attack, I believe even magic damage will remove the confusion status. So I still do think that charm is a little bit better, but it's something. I should say, you know, confusion is something. So harmony here removes positive buffs basically on your enemy characters. So it removes float, re-raise, invisible, regen, protect, shell, haste, faith, and reflect. You know, yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory. Sometimes it's good, obviously, if your enemies are running around buffing themselves, but I don't know. All right, anyways, the next one is disable. Now, I love disable. You know, the enemy can still run away from you, but they can't take any actions, so I actually really like this. And you know, this is a cross pattern as well, so you can hit multiple enemies with this. I'll have to see, but this one might be the best spell that they've got. Sleep is good. Again, I really like other spells better though, like stop, but this will at least, you know, take an enemy out, and you know, they can't move, they can't do anything until sleep is up. And damage obviously removes sleep as well, which is why I think stop is better. In duration here, turn the target's body into stone. Now, stone is an amazing status effect in this game. It will not just automatically wear off over time. It lasts the duration of combat. The only way You actively have to remove it. And this is a good way to deal with like the undead in the game, because undead can be really obnoxious in that when you kill them, when their timers reach 0, sometimes they will automatically revive. So that is a way to kind of get around that. So that's basically it for their active spells. So let's go into their reaction abilities. Mystic. Absorb MP. Recover MP amount or equal to the amount used by the opponent. I don't know. I don't think that this is real great, honestly. I just think that there's a lot better ways to get your MP back. For one thing, they've got a skill that literally does that, right? Absorbs MP from the target. I mean, if you need MP, that's a better way to get it. I suppose this is, kind of passively going to happen, right? Like, if your character uses whatever, a fire spell on you, you should get, 6 MP back. Or for it, but I don't know. I don't really like this one. I just think that there's a lot better reaction type abilities. Defense boost, though, this one is really good. Take less damage from physical attacks. Obviously it's just a passive, so it's always active. And this is kind of just a good general, ability. Not one of my favorite passives, but it's up there. It's definitely up there. And if you're going up against a lot of physical monsters or knights, whatever, ninjas, pretty solid passive abilities. So really up to you. But I think that one, this is one of the better ones, I guess I would say. Ignore weather. Traverse any marsh, swamp, or poisonous fen unimpeded by weather conditions. I'll be honest. I think that there's so many good movement abilities in this game, and this is not one of them. That's really all I have to say about that one. Mana Font, recover MP upon moving. Interesting way, I suppose, if you're planning on casting a lot of different spells, and probably one of the better movement type abilities to use for, like, I don't know, if you're, let's just say you're JP farming and you're planning on doing a lot of casting, I suppose this one's not so bad, but that is really the only time that I think I would probably ever use it. I wouldn't use this in a typical battle because, I don't have, well, aside from just not using a whole lot of spells, just in general, probably not going to run out though either. So, and again, there's other ways to get your MP back as well, and it's kind of built into this kit. So, although yeah, I suppose like this would be maybe good on like a summoner or something, or some high MP usage class that I don't know, that you're having trouble keeping MP. I guess there might be uses for this, but that's about it. Let's take a look at gear. Mystic actually has a lot of gear options, more than I actually realized. So they've got the scepters or the rods here, so that's an option. They've got canes as well, so that is another option. They've got books, I know. So this is a female knight, or a female unit, so they can use all the bags, which I don't usually really like those that much. But here are the poles, and these are interesting because they have a range of 2, right? So this is basically like a spear. Not as strong, generally speaking, but pretty solid weapons, honestly. And the fact that you can attack from, a range of 2 is actually pretty nice. You know what? I want to try something here. I just want to see one thing here. Abilities. Let's go to dual wield. I just want to see if we can dual wield. We should be able to dual wield these. Boom, 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 boom. Where are they at? Will whisker. Nope, you can't. My bad. Okay. Yeah, apparently. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? Because it's basically just as good as a spear. I was hoping that we could dual wield those. That would have been sick, but not the case. That's a shame. But it is what it is. Yeah, and I guess their attack animation shows them using both hands to kind of stab. So 8 Fluted Pole is kind of interesting because it removes all these different status effects, but I believe you have to actually attack your ally with it to do that. So I don't know. I don't really think that's not that. It's like an Asuna pole, right? And then let's just see. And then also, so you've got the books as well. Books I'm not wild about. I don't really like their goofy range. It's kind of like a crossbow, but you know, I don't know, not that big of a fan. But yeah, that's a lot of different options for weapons. Again, I would say the best are these poles. Because you don't have to worry about, you know, getting counterattacked, really. Well, I guess in most conditions, that's probably not always the case, right? It really depends on what reaction type ability the enemy is that you're attacking. But in most cases, you won't be able to be counterattacked. All right, so for helmets, same deal as really all of the rest of the you know, casters. No heavy helmets. Also no heavy armor, but they can use the light armor and robes. So again, you know, you know, they're going to be going through a decent amount of MP, so it probably makes sense to equip a robe. So that is it. That's all I've got for Mystic. I think it's an interesting class. I really like Disable. I still think that ability is, I would argue, is probably the best one in their skill set. The fact that it can hit multiple targets is fantastic, and you know, pretty quick cast time as well. So that's my take on Mystic. As always, hope the guide was helpful, and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.